Aloha, my name is Elsie Itutaua, and at the halau here at LCC, I go by Moʻi, part of my Hawaiian name. I am from Nānākuli, or most recently I found actually I'm from Lualuale. So I say I'm from Nānākuli, but really I'm from Lualuale. That's where my mom and dad raised me, and my 7 brothers and sisters, so I'm the oldest of 8. I recently came back to school, so I'm considered a non-traditional student, but I decided to come back to school. I wasn't working anymore, and I decided I wanted to do Hawaiian studies. And my mom, she told me she was proud of me for doing Hawaiian studies, but I told her I wouldn't, if I had continued school right after high school, I wouldn't. This is not the path I would have gone. You know, I thought I was Hawaiian enough, and I didn't think I needed to learn how to be Hawaiian. But I'm glad that my life is taking this turn right now, and I especially I'm gonna fall back onto teaching with my Hawaiian studies, but actually what I really want to do is write, and that's kind of like my passion. And when you get older, you really want to do what you want to do, not what you need to do. So that's kind of like the way that I'm going. So I think my career would be more teaching, but my passion would be writing. And my Hawaiian studies, the reason why I picked that is because I recently started getting into genealogy and meeting up with some family that I never met before, and building the connections really made this possible for me to do Hawaiian studies now. So in trying to pursue also not just my Hawaiian studies degree, but also maybe a writing certificate or writing degree, I decided to take creative writing this semester. And so actually the requirement was to do poetry. And it was kind of funny because I like to write short stories and essays, and I like to write from like a real place, like a real experience. But the poetry, actually, I was struggling really a lot with it, and so it took me like a weekend to just cry all my emotions out about writing this poetry. And it kind of took me back to a time, and then actually the requirement was to write about when I was younger. And so there was 2 poems that I pinpointed on because all those memories came flooding back to me. And one was about our summers in Mākaha and about camping with my family. And so it actually, one poem evolved into 2, so I actually submitted 2 different ones about those camping. But basically it was about our summers in Mākaha, and you know, I thought it was kind of common, but now when I look back at it, I'm like, I don't think people necessarily knew. Like, there's this one line I used, like, we lived at the beach for the whole summer. That's what we did. And you know, I never looked at it that way, but you know, we looked forward from June to September. We just lived at the beach. And so we had a lot of experiences there, but mostly it was kind of the same thing every day. So in my poem I write, you know, like, we did this and that and this and that, and then I ask, oh, what are we gonna do tomorrow? But really we're gonna do the same thing again. So that's where that poem came from. I submitted this other poem too, and the requirement in creative writing was to write a poem about where I was from. So it was about Nānākuli, and I kind of intertwined it to be a little reference to Maui and Pu'uloa, and actually where my dad and his brothers were raised, which is right at the base of Pu'uloa and the homestead on Mokiave Street. So I kind of just made a little bit of reference to my dad and his brothers who made mischief like Maui. And I thought I was kind of happy when I made those 2 references, because we all know that Maui's mischievous, and if you go back and ask the old timers, we all know my dad, the Peters boys, they was kind of mischievous too. So I was kind of happy on how that turned out. And you know, I had the poems in hand, and when I saw the flyer for the contest, I said, why not? You know, I really wanted to make something in Olelo, Hawaii, but I didn't get to. So maybe next semester. Thanks.